is presented by SMS Audio. This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the BAMMA Middleweight division. Introducing first, the man standing to my right and fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at an even 186 pounds. He is a boxer. His record, 9 victories opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of Nottingham, England, Matt the Wrecking Machine Howard. His opponent stands across the cage to my left and fights out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. His official weight, 185 3/4 pounds. He is a mixed martial artist. His record, 5 victories opposite 2 defeats. Fighting out of Plymouth, England, Harry McLeman. Your referee, Mark Goddard.
So, as we said, 2 exciting young men indeed here in this cage. They only know how to finish. Only one of their fights has gone the distance, and now they're against each other. So, the Wrecking Machine, how does he come back from his only defeat by decision? Walking his man down to the edge of the cage. And Harry will know that Matt has this devastating KO power. Looking to tie his man up and take him down. Because if we look at the Wrecking Machine, 8 KOs, you've really got to feel about taking him down, surely, Frank.
Absolutely. You want to get out of that power, get away from that space. But also, too, it could be a level of confidence. You see he's got KO power because the guys he's fought before you didn't have very good defense, and that's why he's getting the KOs. So it kind of depends on what you see and what your coaches break down. And you know, the scenario with a guy with big, heavy KO power can be played in a lot of different ways. For me, personally, if I have a guy that's got big, heavy KO power, I'm taking him down to the ground. I'm trying to pass his guard and get to a submission position. And
this is exactly what it looks like that Harry McLeman, Mad Mac, is trying to do here. And obviously, the Wrecking Machine, Matt Howard, will want to keep this upright so he can get those heavy hands going, and doing a good job of keeping it there at the moment.
You remember, he's against the cage. He can't really do much from here. He can throw a couple of peppering shots, but he's not really going to be able to do any kind of heavy damage, and he's really being super defensive, trying not to get taken down at this point.
And again, as we mentioned, as he was coming to the cage, there must be slight confidence issues now after his first defeat. And as you said, desperately trying to stay upright, grabbing the cage, definitely there, Frank. Mark Goddard saw that quite clearly. Top referee.
That stopped the takedown too. He gave him a warning to him. Next time he does it, it actually benefited him. That's one of those times where you almost take the penalty.
Yes, because you've got the striking advantage.
He had a shot. They separated him, getting ready to get a restart. He could have went back to boxing. It was very easy for him to get out of that position, and he didn't get taken down. It was smart. Take the one penalty, give the point up later. Just don't do it again. But
the way McLelan really closed the distance there, he set out his stall early. He wants this man down. He wants to take him there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know that once this thing gets to the ground, it's going to be over rather quickly from that position. It's just going to take a second to get there because of how good right now, at least, that Matt is keeping it on the feet. He's doing a good job defensively of keeping it there.
Defending the knees here as well as McLelan tries to soften him up for that takedown. At the moment, though, it's real stalemate, and it's tough for the judges when you're halfway through a round when they've got 2 very distinct game plans, and they sort of negate each other, don't they, Frank?
Yeah, but then you look at a lot of different factors, like range. Oh, nice sweeping takedown. Good job to off-balance him as he stepped off. Harry made the mistake of trying to get aggressive, and that gave Matt the ability to put him down on the ground. Excuse me, the other way around. Matt got aggressive, and Harry was able to take him down. I apologize about that, gentlemen. They're a good position. Ends up inside. Good spot. Hips are down. Hips are turned. Now let's just see what he can do with this position.
Well, this is also vital for Matt Howard coming back from that first loss on his career. This is where he didn't want to be. It's how he deals with this as well.
Good Kimura attempt right here. Oh, he had it. Matt did a good job of rolling out of it. And now he's going to end up on top. Good position. Here. Good position change.
And again, it was a heavy right attempt, and it sways back in McLellan's favor. It was quite a loose right hand that he felt. It was almost like an impatient right hand, and he's paid for it again.
You've got to settle in. When you're starting to get, in the heat of it, the feeling out period is done. Both guys are in battle mode. You got to start slowing your punches down and picking your better spots. Just because his face is open doesn't mean it's time to throw. Good sweep position. Nice hip change. Good explosion. Now he's on top. What can he do with it?
Well, he's called the wrecking machine. Are we going to find out why here, if he can posture up? We know he's heavy-handed. His stats speak for themselves. And this is where he wants to be. He has postured up, pulled back in again tightly by McLeman. But up until this point, it's a very difficult one for the judges, isn't it, Frank?
Absolutely. A lot of back and forth pressure. Right now, the only thing that you can lean on is that Harry had Matt against the cage a lot longer. He was pressing there for most of the rounds. So looking at ring control, that's the only deciding factor at this point. And right now, Harry is winning that position.
And they're back to their feet, which will suit Matt Howard. But he's got to maximize here. It's actually the left hand from Harry to set up the takedown attempt, and the right knee coming in twice here. And he does close that gap very quickly. He doesn't give Harry time to set up his shots, does he?
Now, you don't want to let a guy with big KO power getting any time to get off. You want to close that distance and get away from him. Standing here against the cage while throwing punches at him is not very smart, unless you know you can connect and get yourself to the ground.
That's right, they were in close. Maybe he felt slightly safer there with the range factor. But we're inside the land. Well, we finished the first round. Tough one, but I don't know about you. What you were picking up on earlier, Frank, I would go slightly with Harry for the ring control.
I would. Right now I have a 10-9 for Harry after the first round. The big deciding factor was where the ring control was, who dominated that position, he did.
And again, he got that takedown through that knee right through the channel, set this up. Beautiful work there from Harry.
Just gets into the position, ends up inside, passes in. Now you see here, as soon as Matt's allowed to set up and start throwing punches, he immediately starts coming down heavy and hard. But he got blocked off. He spent a lot of energy to have a little bit of damage that was done, and then ends up wasting a lot of energy. Hopefully, this next round he'll learn his lesson and pick his spots better. If he gets back in this position, he'll start banging the body, not headhunting so much.
Well, I think with Matt as well, it's timing issues, in the sense that he lets Harry close that gap so quickly. He's got to catch him on the way in if he's got any chance to keep that distance to get his boxing going, because at the moment, Harry gets in with ease.
Let's see what happens now. This is, what do the corners tell you? What happened? Can we get inside now? Kick and adjust. Perfect ability and looking right for that takedown again, and gets it.
And you saw Matt there. He almost reached for that cage again to try and grab the meshing. But he's fallen into the trap again, hasn't he? Right at the beginning of the second.
This is a bad spot to be in. This is one of those things now you have to go back and look at this tape, go back to your training corners and go, look, you got to figure out how to stop a takedown. If you want to be a brawler, if you want to be a striker, you got to figure out how to stay on your feet, which means you have to learn how to stop takedowns. You can't let a guy close the distance on you. You have to learn how to backpedal and step out of the way and sidestep. You're going to have to learn these foot motion games if you want to keep it on your feet. And he's just not, and on the bottom, like right now, he's not even doing anything. It doesn't look like he wants to really be a grappling guy on the bottom. So his best choice is to be a striker, so he's got to find a way to get there. Good sweep. He's done that twice now. This is a good sweep position. He steps with the leg and hips up and gets over very, very nicely. But he hasn't done much with this position.
This is the problem for him, and you feel that when they get back to their feet, he needs to capitalize, but isn't capable at the moment. Now he got caught with an up kick in the first round from Harry's defense.
Wow, you can see Harry's starting to get tired. I can see he's starting to breathe a lot heavier. Of course, both guys are being physical, so they're both getting more tired. Harry's seen to get a lot of gas taken on that first round. He's got a lot of time on takedown attempts.
And we know that Matt's powerful as well, and that's a big man starting to rain down work on you.
Looks like Matt just got one hit in the back of the head. Mark Goddard, let's see what happens. He's got to be real cautious now. Harry's very smart here. He's got to see he's got himself turned over. He's got that one arm close, tied up, so he can't get in the face. The only way he can hit you now is through the back of the head. He has to come up and down, and it's very difficult to get that position.
He's trying to use his forearm there, but he's got to be careful that he doesn't give up that arm to Harry.
He's in a good position to go ahead and get an arm triangle if he chooses to. You can push that leg, you can push that arm through right now.
Just gets through with the left hand. Does Matt Howard. And this is where I feel that we talk about that confidence. If I was Matt, I would now step back and ask him to come back to his feet with the power that I've got. But having said that, he sat back down nicely with that heavy ground and pound. And this has changed the complexion of this fight, hasn't it, Frank?
It really has. It's completely different now. The second round is completely different than the first round. Nice takedown, great takedown, good stepping in, good hip position. Now he's inside, stepping over from Mount. I think it's a little bit too early for him to step over to Mount. I think that with his head caught like that, I believe that Matt's going to go ahead and try to roll out of this. He better get his head free before he steps over.
Just as you said that, Harry popped the head out. And he needs this. He's still got time, hasn't he? Because he'll know the early part of that round, Matt Howard did really well there. And he needs to change this around now.
As soon as he stepped over, the moment he stepped over, right to it, Matt gets him back on the bottom again. Matt's done a great job of knowing the position change of how to get off the bottom, but then can't capitalize once he's here.
Well, it's the third time he's done it, as you said, but he really needs, as this round goes into the last minute and a half, to capitalize on those turnarounds. Because we can count in single digits the clean shots he's actually got through when he's been in this position.
Yeah, he hasn't done, really not much has gotten through in this position. Here he's done a great job. I kind of think that Mark's going to stand him up here pretty quick. I don't see the ref letting this go much longer.
And again, we feel he's got to be careful with those arms, Matt Howard. And as you said there, good call, Frank. He's calling them back up.
You know, and really, I got to be honest with you, just from what I'm looking at, that Harry's in a great position to get a bunch of triangles. He's in a nice double leg takedown, puts him right back down on the ground. Great timing. He's in a great position to get a lot of triangle takedowns. He really needs to go out and kind of develop a triangle game from the bottom because these guys are swinging at him. He's in a position where he could be in a triangle very easily without having to do much.
Well, it's true because the Matt's work isn't subtle, is it? He's looked, and we've seen some quite wide strikes, some stuff that really could have been caught. And that's what's disappointed me, to be honest, about Matt, is he hasn't maximised when he's been upright either. He's back down here when he's had 3 or 4 chances to take the upright game and use that power.
He was in a spot where he's really in a good position. He hit the body a couple of times and then go up to the head and could have softened him up, as we say a little bit, but he sticks for the head. Oh, coming in with a nice arm in choke. He has the leg and he's a pressure across. He's on the wrong side. It's going to be difficult with 10 seconds left to finish this. He's not going to be able to do it. His hips are free, and now he's let go of the arm. It's not going to happen. But there was a great position. He could have stepped off and went to a nice choke. You know, obviously that round goes all the way to Harry again. You know?
Now, they've had a good look at his opponent. What can you say to Matt? Maybe when you're used to banging someone out quickly, I don't see much finesse in terms of foot movement and timing when a man's coming in. What does he really need to work on? We know he's got the power, but there's other skills he needs there as well, isn't there?
He's got to go back to like the sweet science of boxing, where you're getting up and you're moving around, you're getting foot motion, you're sidestepping, you're moving sideways, you're rotating around as the guy attacks you. You're hitting him with the check hooks, and you're hitting him with every punch doesn't have to be super hard. A lot of power guys want to hit you with everything as hard as possible. You don't need to do that. You can throw a 5-punch combo, and the first punch is hard, and every other punch in the middle is garbage, and the 5th punch is hard because you're trying to set them up. So it saves energy, it also saves your power, and it confuses guys because you don't know which one's going to be hard and which one's going to be soft.
Because the problem for Matt is when Harry goes for the shoot, he knows exactly where Matt's going to be, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's very easy.
Line in front of him.
Yeah, it's very simple. I'm right in front of you, you throw that big right hand, I'm dipping underneath and I'm grabbing your legs. It's a very simple takedown to get.
So third and final round, but the one thing I will say, as long as he's there, Matt is in with a chance. Those stats speak for themselves, and if he's still there, there's still a chance of one landing.
But he's one of those guys that throws with so much power. If he just slightly touches you a little bit, he can change the whole dynamic of the fight because he clips you and all of a sudden puts you on Queer Street.
Well, that left hand almost did the job, and he tried to follow up with the knee, and he's got the right distance now. Can he keep it at this distance and work there? But again, he came in that straight line. There's no lateral movement for him.
And there's no jab to set it up. There's no setup punches. Everything comes in. It's 2 heavy punches as he walks in. They're easy to see coming, and they're easy to stop.
And the problem for him across these 3 rounds is Harry has been able to close this gap and get to this position. And each time he's taken his time and he has got his man down. But looking from the opposite point of view, you've just been a little bit disappointed in the fact that you feel that he's missed his submission opportunities when he's got Matt there.
Yeah, he's had a lot of submission positions, both from the bottom and the top, and really just a second outside of it and just missing them. And really, they're easy submissions to get when you have the timing and the knowledge of how to get to them. So I'm sure that he'll go back in and watch the tape and figure it out for his next training camp.
As it is, we're in a familiar position at the moment, with Matt with his back against the cage, with Harry looking for that leg and for that takedown. And if you were in either camp, Frank, when you come away from this fight, because we've gone a good way into it now, even if it's a stoppage, it's going to be in the 3rd round, what would you say to both men here? What would Harry have to take away from this?
Harry in a lot of submission positions, had the ability to finish the fight early. You got inside Matt's power too much. You got to learn how to stay away from the power. And when you get these takedowns, you got to learn how to take down and pass. You have to be past his guard. Every time you take him down, look for submissions a little bit sooner. If I'm in Matt's corner, I'm telling you, you got to move your body, move your feet, figure out if you want to be a stand-up guy and make it a striking match, then you got to figure out how to stop the takedown and not get taken down as much.
Because if you've got a natural gift, you've got to be able to utilize it.
I really believe that the game of MMA is going to change again. Where in the very beginning, it was guys that were black belts in one discipline. Who was the best discipline? Well, obviously it was the wrestlers and the jiu-jitsu guys, being Hoist Gracie being the better jiu-jitsu guy, so he wins everything. Then it changed to where everybody is brown belts at everything. And you don't have those specialty guys anymore. I think now it's going to be, I'm really, really good at this particular game of MMA. That's my black belt, and everything else I'm going to be purple belts or brown belts in. And that I'm going to keep it in my realm of expertise. And I think that's where the game is going to change here in the next year, because you get guys like Matt Howard, who's just an amazing striker and can knock you out with one punch if he chooses to, and when he can land it, but he's got to find a way to be in that space all 15 minutes, not just 30 seconds of every round.
And again, as we mentioned earlier, Harry's been in this position in each of the opening 2 rounds as well.
And he's in a spot, he can get that arm and go to a Kimura. He's got a position to go to a knee bar in this spot. He can go to an arm choke, a head and arm choke in here. His submission game is wide open at this point. And he's not even trying to set him up with strikes. He starts punching him and setting these things up. Right now he's a full submission right now if he just chooses to go to it, because that's Matt's natural position to wrap that head up.
Because Harry's transitions have been good, haven't they? His movement's been good. It's about fine-tuning, really.
Mm-hmm. It really is. He's just a not even, I don't want to say a half step. He's like a quarter step just outside the game of finishing the fight. And Matt's just a quarter step outside of being able to keep this on his feet the entire time to get the knockout. So it just depends on which guy learns quicker before they start the next training camp as they're trying to learn new techniques.
Yes, because, I mean, Harry's managed to negate the power. He's managed to stay safe from the power, and he's managed to get the takedowns, and his movement here has been good. As you said, it's just that final piece of the puzzle, that submission. But here again, he's going for the back now of Matt, and he's got time as well.
Over a minute's a long time to have a guy on your back, especially both hooks in. He's got underneath the chin. He's on the chin rather than underneath it. Now he's gonna soften him up a little bit. He's got to not worry about the hands so much and make sure he keeps attached to that head. Good flattening position. Nice job by Harry to go ahead and flatten him out, but he let Matt come all the way back up underneath him again. He's able to hold him.
Yeah, Matt trying his best, holding his blood there from that little bit of ground and pound. But with 36 seconds left now, Frank, I think if the judges had any doubt whatsoever, I think Harry's going to take this now.
Well, now we're looking at the last 30 seconds, and Matt just got back on top, so let's see what happens. This is a, I think that Harry's going to win the fight, but I want to see kind of how Matt deals with this, and he has enough power to get a finish from here if he can get the space.
And by the same token, this is where you wanted to see Harry looking for that arm and taking the opportunity as it comes flailing down towards you.
Getting out of the way, getting in that position, getting right into a triangle and trying to choke him out.
Last big shots here from Matt, the Wrecking Machine Howard. Is it enough? Personally, we don't think so, do we, Frank?
No, I think Harry wins this fight. I think that the scorecards will show that, but we got to see what happens. Both guys were cut a little bit. Both guys got blooded up a little bit. But let's see what goes on. Both guys are exhausted. Spent a lot of energy in that fight. A lot of power shots were taken. A lot of wrestling takes a lot of energy out of you. See here, he was so busy worrying about the arms that the head came free. He was able to sit. He got him flat, but he didn't block him in. And now all of a sudden you're back in the battle again for no reason.
But on the positive, these are all things that can be worked on. These are two good lads that can improve.
Absolutely. Both these guys have a huge amount of potential. Can definitely get into space and figure something out.
So it's gone the full 3 rounds. It was hard, it was hustle. Neither man really had the clear-cut opportunities, but we think Harry McLeman is going to get a win here at BAMMA 14, just like he did at BAMMA 13, but we'll have to go to the judges and the official result. But again, the opportunity that was there for Matt right in the last 30 seconds, as we see here, for that ground and pound. He just couldn't quite maximise the opportunity. And we do go to the judges. Again, these shots not quite getting through clean enough to force a decision. And Mark Goddard, our referee, calling them to the centre of the ring now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards for the final decision. Andy Roberts, Kevin Capel, and Nigel Burgess all score the bout 30-27 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Harry Mad Mac McLeman.